Let's talk about post-separation abuse. What I can say about post-separation abuse is that if you are divorcing a narcissist, or if you are divorcing any type of high conflict, toxic individual, the post-separation abuse wheel likely describes your life. So, this is an example of the wheel. It can be found on the One Mom's Battle Instagram page, and you can click the link in the bio and then scroll down through the options for post-separation abuse wheel. Today, I wanted to talk about counter parenting. This is where the unhealthy parent has so much hatred and animosity towards the healthy parent that they counter parent. Maybe they had some deep childhood abandonment issues, and when you decided to leave them, it really triggered something deep down. One of the things people don't understand is it's actually not about you. None of their hatred for you is about you. And it doesn't excuse their behavior, but I do think it's important that we look beyond the surface issues and learn that this has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them. The narcissist is a deeply wounded, insecure, person filled with shame. And all of that comes out and it becomes targeted at us, especially if they had an abandonment issue. And like I said, you've pulled the trigger and ended the relationship. Or maybe it's about their ego, their standing in the community, when so much of that is tied into their public image, their wife, their children, their presentation, and you pull that out from under them. It's World War III in a lot of ways. So when a narcissist is counter-parenting, which is one of the spokes on the post-separation abuse wheel, they are driven by anger and rage and hatred. And so their judgment center is compromised. Now here is the big dilemma that we all run into. We are taught that when we are going through a divorce or a breakup with a narcissist, that we go no contact or we go gray rock communication. But if you have children, you don't have the luxury of doing that. The courts want to see absolutely top-notch co-parenting. We know the narcissist is not capable of that. We know that parallel parenting is the ideal situation when you are sharing children with a toxic person. However, when we try to implement that, when we try to parallel parent, that's when we end up looking like a problem in front of the court system, in front of the judges, the attorneys, because they don't know either party. All they know is that this is high conflict. They don't know who is to blame. It can take them a year, sometimes 2 years, to really get to the bottom of who the problem is. And that's where it is so important to keep your side of the street sparkling clean, to operate from your authentic truth. I can only speak for myself. My authentic truth is that I would be an amazing co-parent if the other party was healthy. And so when I try to parallel parent, it backfires on me and I am not showing up as the authentic version of who I am. So for me in the family court system, I showed up and presented as the healthy co-parent that I am. I learned pretty early on that until the court system, the family court professionals determine that the other party is incapable of co-parenting, I don't get to choose to just parallel parent and do my own thing over here and think what happens at my house stays at my house, what happens at his house stays at his house. That makes me look like part of the problem. in my opinion. And so I very much took the approach of showing up as the best co-parent that the courts had ever seen, despite what was going on the other side. And part of that is me accepting and acknowledging what's in my control. I can't control his behavior. All I can do is show up and rock my role as a mom and as a co-parent. So if you're over here in your lane just killing your role as a healthy co-parent, which is hopefully your authentic truth if you are watching with us today, and the other party is over here counter-parenting, the court is going to see through them a lot faster if we are presenting well and continue to let them, dig themselves deeper. One of the things that people don't understand is that the narcissist is usually their own worst enemy. If you give them a little bit of rope, they're just going to run with it and hang themselves. And so you want to allow them, you want to diminish the conflict at every opportunity, choosing your battles wisely so that their mask doesn't just stay on, it falls off, it, is over to the side, it's not affixed tightly. Let them keep counter parenting. It's so hard for people to understand, but showing up and presenting well in the eyes of the court is going to help you protect your kids a lot quicker. Obviously, my fine print disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. I am not qualified to give you legal advice. All I can do is share my own personal journey through the family court system and also what I see other people going through as a 10-year family court advocate. But ultimately, your attorney is your voice and your advocate in the court system. So any new strategies or anything you're going to implement, make sure your attorney is on board and that you are following their guidance and their legal advice. But if anything that I said here today helps you on your journey, then it's all worth it. Go out there and be the rock that your kids need you to be.